Hi guys, welcome back. I can't even believe we are here already. It's back to school time and we are back to the dreaded task of packing all of our kids' lunches before 8 a.m. I have really enjoyed summer break where I didn't have to do this every day, but this is the reality of mom life and just something we gotta do. So if I'm being completely honest, I have resorted to a pizza day, hot dog day at my kids' school for my own survival. But this year, I am determined to come up with some healthier options for my kids that they're all gonna love, they're all gonna eat, and will come home with empty lunch boxes. And I don't wanna be making different lunches for all of my different kids because that is just so annoying and unrealistic. So I've got some new ideas this year that I'm really excited about. I'm certain all of my kids are gonna love these meals, and I will type up the recipes and share them in the description box below so that you guys can also try them out with your kids if you like. All right, let's do this. School mornings are typically pretty chaotic in my household simply because I have to get 4 kids fed, lunch bags packed, and everyone out the door before 8 a.m. so we can get to the bus stop on time. I have never been the mom who made everybody's lunches the night before. For me, there's 2 reasons. One is that by the end of the day, after dinner and cleaning up, I am just done. I don't feel like making everybody's lunches at that time. And second, we don't have the fridge space to store 3 lunch bags overnight. So what I've come to realize, if I can prep just parts of their lunches the day before, or even on a Sunday night, just have some key components ready to go, it just makes it so much easier on those busy school mornings to put a healthy and homemade meal together for my kids. So today I'm gonna be starting with a pumpkin seed pesto. This one is completely nut-free, which is perfect for school. Typically a pesto is made with pine nuts, and pine nuts are also really expensive, so I just love this swap. And honestly, I don't know why I never thought of making this sooner. All of my kids love pesto. I can make it ahead of time, store it in the fridge, and in the morning all I have to do is boil the noodles, stir everything together, warm it all up, and it's good to go. And I have a secret ingredient that I'm adding to my pesto sauce. I am adding some cottage cheese. When I make this pesto, it's going to make it creamy. It adds extra protein, and my kids have no idea. They just think it's extra Parmesan cheese when they see the little white pieces. And I also want to quickly mention that the recipe is in the description below if you want exact measurements for how to make this pesto. And if you do plan on making this in advance, like on a Sunday night or sometime during the week, and you want to keep it in the fridge for a few days, pour a little bit of olive oil on top, and that will just help it to keep that nice green color. If your kids are anything like my kids, they just love noodles of any kind. I love when I can find a healthy noodle option. There's so many out there, but today I'm using a brown rice noodle. My kids will not touch brown rice typically, but they love brown rice noodles. And something else that I'm adding to this meal to make it a little bit more filling and substantial with extra protein is I just picked up a pre-made rotisserie chicken. I'm taking off the meat and I'm just going to chop it all up. You could also do this in advance to save you some extra time in the morning. Just chop up some of the chicken, store it in its own container, and then in the morning all you have to do is cook the noodles and stir everything together. Back to school time is bittersweet for me. I have really enjoyed just relaxing this summer and taking it easy. I haven't really done a whole lot. So part of me is excited to just kind of get my life back in order, to be back on some kind of schedule and routine. but I'm also going to miss these summer days. I am such a summer girl. I love the warmth, I love the sunshine, and doing things spontaneously and not packing our calendars up with too many things. But on the flip side, it actually is really nice to get back into a routine, to find some kind of rhythm in my day-to-day life. I'm mostly excited to start working out intentionally again. I was kind of all over the place this summer. I was just doing whatever worked for me with all of my kids around, whatever I could fit into our busy days. So come this school year, I'm really going to be more intentional, not just with my own health and fitness goals, but I also want to be more intentional with my kids and making sure that I'm packing them healthy foods that are going to fuel them for a busy school day and just help them to feel their absolute best. And I also know that I'm not perfect, and some days it's just not gonna happen, and I'm okay with that. But my hope is to get at least a few really healthy homemade meals that I can send them off to school with. Quesadillas are definitely one of my go-to lunch options. I've been making this for years, ever since my friend gave me this idea. They're really easy to throw together in the morning. It takes me less than 10 minutes to make 3 of these. And I also love that you can change out the filling depending on what your kid loves and enjoys. So today I'm making pizza quesadillas, and I am making a homemade pizza sauce simply because we have a whole whack load of tomato sauce in our cold cellar that I have to use up. My husband and I made 70 jars of canned tomatoes this summer, so yeah, I have a lot of tomato sauce that I have to get through. But feel free to just use a store-bought pizza sauce, and then you can just add whatever toppings that you have. I like to put my toppings in a little container so that it's just really easy to grab and go in the morning. And then you can also ask your kids to help you out. I find that my kids are more into what they get in their lunch bags if they are helping to pack or to make whatever they are putting in their lunches. And I also want to mention that not one of my kids complain about having cold quesadillas, because they definitely will be cold by the time they eat them. But it's really not a big deal, and all of my kids love them and still eat them. And then I like to pack a little bit of some kind of dipping sauce. If I do Mexican style quesadillas, I'll pack guacamole and salsa, but today is pizza, so I'm just adding some extra pizza sauce on the side. Not every day is a day that I want to make a full-on homemade lunch for my kids to bring to school. So on days where it's busy and I just want to throw together what we call a snacky lunch, it's basically just a whole bunch of snack style items that are put together in a bento box usually, and they can just pick and choose what they want to eat throughout the day. But one way that I'm making this feel a little bit more homemade, adding some extra protein and making it a little bit healthier than a store-bought dip, is making a homemade dip. This is a pickle dip. All of my kids love pickles so much, so they all absolutely love this dip. And I do find that my kids come home with their vegetables still in their lunchbox if I don't give them a dip. So by making this dip sometime at the beginning of the week, I have a good healthy dip option for my kids for the whole week. I love that it has pickle juice added to the dip as well. And I also used equal parts Greek yogurt and sour cream. So the Greek yogurt is definitely going to give it a good protein boost, and the sour cream gives it such a nice flavor. And also, if you're having fish sometime during the week, I also sometimes will use this exact same recipe to make a tartar sauce. And bento boxes have been really great for our family. We've used them for our younger aged kids up until about grade 1 or grade 2, and then they kind of grow out of the bento box and just move on to using containers. I'm going to share this bento box because this one has definitely been my favorite for all of my younger kids. This one fits quite a lot of food and it's just a great box altogether. And then I found some stainless steel containers for my older kids and I absolutely love those as well. Regardless, all of my kids love it when I make them a snacky lunch, whether it's made in the bento box or just in the regular containers. I love that it's really easy to just pick and choose whatever ingredients that you have on hand. Today I had some sourdough bread that I made, so I'm adding that, just adding a little bit of butter. I have some meat sticks for protein, cheese, veggies, and then I just throw in some packaged goods, so either like a granola bar or an applesauce. And as much as packing lunches every day isn't my most favorite task, I do feel a little better equipped this year with some of these recipes, and I hope they help you as well. Would you drop a comment sharing your kids' favorite lunchbox ideas? Because I definitely want to add more into my weekly rotation. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. I'll see you next week.